to our channel, and this video is done for my students who are enrolled in the subject, the teacher, and the curriculum. I'll be discussing the first two components of your module. The first of which will be about the types of curriculum, and the second one will be about the role of the teacher as a curricularist. Okay? But before we move on to the core components of our module, I would like to present some definitions of curriculum so we have a better understanding about what curriculum really is. The first definition is curriculum as a list of subjects. Okay? So this definition suggests that curriculum includes the permanent subjects or the traditional subjects offered in the basic education up to the tertiary education like math, science, English, music, arts, and the like. Okay? So in your own context, because you are in the tertiary education, you might be aware of the prospectus, right? It's where you could see all the subjects that you have to take before you finish a particular program. That one as well is a curriculum. And I think it's high time as well to differentiate a program and a course. Kasi may mga naririnig ako na pag tinatanong nila ang isang tao, ano ang ti course mo, tisagot ti ubeng kat education po. Okay, I would like to correct that particular notion. Pag sinabi mong program muna tayo, ang tawag dito ay pwedeng academic program, degree program, or curricular program. Okay? So kapag tinanong ka, ano ang program mo sa university? Ang sagot mo dapat ay education po, BSed po. Ano naman ang course mo? Ang course, on the other hand, is a subject that you have to take. So ang course ko po ay the teacher and the curriculum. Okay, that's the course. That's the subject. So the teacher and the curriculum is one of the courses in your program, Bachelor in Secondary or Bachelor in Elementary Education. So I hope I made myself clear. The next definition is curriculum as learning experience. So in this particular definition, it includes the student's curricular and the co-curricular activities, academic or non-academic activities, or learning experience that are within or outside the school campus. Lahat ng to ay curriculum. So this also includes the learning experience that they have learned from a particular program. So lahat ng mga activities na ginagawa ng mga estudyante na sinusupervise ng teacher o ini-implement ng isang school sa loob man ng school or sa labas man, lahat ng yon ay curriculum. Ang foundation day ay curriculum din po because you would be learning a particular experience or a particular value in that program. So lahat ng yon ay curriculum. All the activities that would give students a learning experience ay curriculum. Ang next definition ay curriculum as intended learning outcomes. So this definition includes a list of learning competencies or learning standards that the student should learn in school. So kung makikita niyo yung mga modules na binibigay namin sa inyo, merong iba't ibang outcomes or iba't ibang outcomes meron dyan. Una, meron kang institutional outcomes, okay? Ito naman yung gusto ng LASALET na maging kayo later on, ideal graduates, as they say, ano ang pagkakaiba mo sa mga graduates ng ibang schools. Meron din namang program outcomes. Anong klaseng guro ka pagkatapos mo ng degree program mo. Meron ding course outcomes. Ano ang mga natutunan mo sa subject na ito. So lahat ng ito ay prescribed, lahat ng ito ay written, pero lahat din dapat ng ito ay interconnected so that you could assure or we could assure that we are really developing students holistically. So all these things are curriculum. Based on these different definitions, we can say, therefore, that a curriculum is the total learning experience of the learner in a school. It's the totality of the learning experience. It's the accumulation of the learned experience and values of all these students in a certain school. So that is what curriculum is all about. Okay? So this time, I will be presenting the different types of curriculum. At ang isang classroom would actually be operating or implementing different types of curricula at the same time. The first type of curriculum is the recommended curriculum. So this is also known as ideological curriculum, and almost all curricula found in our schools are recommended. Okay? So this is a name given to a curriculum construed by educational stakeholders at the national level. So sa basic education, ang kanilang curriculum is being recommended by the Department of Education. Sa higher education naman, the curriculum is recommended by the CHED, Commission on Higher Education. At sa mga vocational education, their curriculum is recommended by TESDA. So the recommended curriculum is more general and consists primarily of policy guidelines. Okay? That is why, and it also reflects the impact of the policymakers or of the opinion shapers, like that of the educationists, like that of the professional associations like PAFTE, or international organizations like that of UNESCO. So ang recommended curriculum ay nanggaling sa pinakataas, at yun ay binababa to be followed and to be implemented, to be revised, to be innovated by the teachers themselves. Okay? So lahat ng yun ay recommended curriculum. Next one is the written curriculum. Or ang tawag dito is the enacted curriculum. So this written curriculum naman is sanctioned and approved for classroom delivery. So it includes documents that are based on the recommended curriculum. So ito naman translate the broad goals of recommended curriculum into specific learning outcomes. So from the recommended curriculum given by the CHED, okay, ang mangyayari naman nito, gagawin siyang more specific, gagawin siyang mas madaling i-implement ng written curriculum. So this written curriculum would indicate rationale of the curriculum, the goals to be realized, specific learning outcomes to be achieved, kinds of learning activities to be given. So ito yung plano na, ito yung mga plano na ng mga curricularists na pwedeng i-implement later on sa school. And sa ang example na to, another example would be the course syllabi, the modules, the books, teachers' learning plans or teachers' lesson plan. Lahat ng to ay written curriculum. Lahat ng mga gagamitin sa classroom na isinulat ng mga professionals or ng mga teachers at susundin din ng mga teachers later on. So, ang isa sa mga bagong written curriculum ay ang K-12 curriculum of the Philippine education. So, this written curriculum is a practicable sign, okay? It's a practicable plan, rather, since it balances the ideals of the recommended curriculum and the real situation suggested by the teacher. Kasi, kailangan talaga ng, pacifier, kumbaga, ng practicable plan para yung masyadong broad na mga ideals or goals ng recommended curriculum ay maging more specific considering what is really happening in the field. The next one is the taught curriculum or the operational curriculum. So, ni-recommend na yung gagawin mo, isinulat na rin, pinano na rin, and this time, it's high time for this written curriculum to be implemented, to be taught, okay? Kaya nga sinasabi natin that the teachers are the chief implementers of the curriculum. And the teachers and the students at the same time would give life to the written curriculum. Parang yung lesson plan, a part of the written curriculum ay itinranslate na ngayon ng teacher doon sa classroom, sa teaching scenarios, then this becomes the taught curriculum. And the skill of the teacher to facilitate learning based on the written curriculum will be aided by the use of different instructional materials so that teaching will be a lot easier. So the taught curriculum would be totally dependent on the teacher's teaching style that is suited to the student's learning style. So gaya ng sinasabi natin, ang mga teachers hindi pwedeng pagkumparahin yung mga yan. Kasi ang mga teachers magkakaiba because they have different teaching styles, they have different manners of teaching, and that magkakaiba din because they would always think of the kind of strategies they would be employing that would best fit the students' potentials and students' diversity. So lahat ng yon ay taught curriculum. The next type of curriculum is the supported curriculum. So kaya siya tinawag na supported because this describes all the support materials that a teacher needs to make teaching and learning more meaningful. So lahat ng mga aids that the teachers would use to ensure a better teaching and learning process. Lahat ng yun ay parts ng supported curriculum, like that of the books, modules, realias, mock-ups, lahat ng non-print materials like PowerPoint presentations or movies or videos like this, supported curriculum po ang mga ito. And another, lahat din po ng mga ginagamit ng teacher at ng school to make the teaching and learning process a lot better, gaya ng playground, laboratories, audiovisual rooms, lahat ng ito ay supported curriculum. So, lahat ng mga places where authentic learning through direct experience would occur, these are all parts of the supported curriculum. Next, we have assessed curriculum. Assessed curriculum is very much needed so that the taught and the supported, the written, the taught, and the supported curriculum will be evaluated. Okay? At para malaman ng teacher kung ang teaching and learning process na ginawa niya ay nag-succeed. So, ito, ang kasali dito yung lahat ng evaluative tools na ginagamit natin, lahat ng assessment tools na ginagamit natin, like the diagnostic assessment, the formative assessment, or the summative assessment. Or pwede rin yung mga teachers-made tests, mga standardized tests, or yung mga creative performances, or demonstrations or portfolio, lahat ng ito ay part ng assessed curriculum. They are all parts of the assessed curriculum because these are tools that are used by the teachers and the school to evaluate the efficiency of the teaching process and to evaluate the understanding of the students about a particular subject. So these are all assessed curriculum. At lagi nating sinisigurado bilang mga teacher that our assessment tools ay nagmamatch sa ating learning outcomes at sa activities na binigay natin sa classroom. The next one will be the learned curriculum. Ang learned curriculum naman, it says there in the slide, are the changes that occurred in the learners due to their school experience. So how do we know that a teacher or that a student has learned something? Una, if there is a change in behavior. So if there is a change in behavior, then that's already a learned curriculum. Kapag nung una ang mga bata ay hindi nakakapagbasa, pero nung tinuruan mo sila, nakapagbasa na sila, pwedeng napakabully nila, tapos naging mabait na sila, disobedient sila, tapos naging obedient na sila. Lahat ng changes na makikita sa mga estudyante would actually tell us that they have learned something from us. And these are all parts of the learned curriculum. Okay? At kasama din po pala dito sa learned curriculum yung mga activities na ginagawa ng mga estudyante to demonstrate students' higher order thinking skills, critical thinking, and at the same time, the lifelong learning, the lifelong skills. Kapag nakikita mo ito sa mga estudyante mo, lahat ng mga natututunan nila ay learned curriculum. So the last kind of curriculum is the hidden or implicit curriculum, which is kinda connected sa learned curriculum na pinag-usapan natin kanina. Kaya siya tinawag na hidden or implicit kasi unwritten siya, unofficial, and usually unintended outcomes, lessons, or values that the students learned from you or from the school. So ito yung mga hindi natin sinasadyang mga lessons learned by the students. Ito yung mga accidental values that they have learned. These are the caught values that the students have which actually make them better individuals. So all these are parts of the hidden or implicit curriculum. So kaya nga, the teacher should be very much sensitive and aware of this hidden curriculum. So they would also plan kung paano makita ang mga hidden or implicit values na ito or lessons na ito. Para sa akin, ang hidden curriculum ay ang soul or ang heart ng lahat ng mga curricula presented, because these hidden curriculum would, make, pag maayos, okay, pag maganda, would make students would make students better individuals. So these are all the types of the curriculum that we have to remember. So what is then the role of the teacher in the middle of all this? Una, tingnan muna natin kung pwede nga bang maging curricularist ang mga teachers. Pag sinabi mong curricularist, ito yung mga persons who are involved in knowing, writing, planning, implementing, and evaluating or innovating a certain curriculum. Sila ay mga curricularists. And let's try to find out if the teacher does all these things and if a teacher is, can be considered to be a curricularist. Una, the teacher knows the curriculum. Correct. Kasi pag hindi niya alam ang curriculum, hindi niya alam ang ituturo niya. Kung hindi niya alam ang subject matter niya, how could these teachers think of very good strategies that would, help students understand the topic a lot better? So the teacher has to know the subject matter, has to master even the subject matter, so that he would craft very good activities that would help students understand the topic the best way possible. Next, the teacher writes the curriculum, of course. Ang isa sa mga sinusulat ng mga teachers ay mga modules, lesson plans, books, laboratory manuals, kayang gawin yan ng mga teachers. Okay? And the teacher really has or can write curriculum kasi kung hindi niya kayang gumawa ng lesson plan niya, paano niya ngayon ita-transfer lahat ng alam niya sa mga estudyante niya at paano niya ngayon magagawa ng procedure yung pagtuturo niya araw-araw. Okay? So the teacher writes the curriculum. Next, plans the curriculum. Is a teacher planning for the curriculum too? Of course. Okay? The teacher plans for the curriculum. And a good curriculum really has to be planned. It is the role of the teacher to make a yearly, monthly, or daily plan of the curriculum because this would serve as the teacher's guide in implementing the curriculum itself. So, the teacher includes in planning for a particular learning plan or for a particular curriculum. The teacher has to consider the learner's abilities, the support materials, even the subject matter, the content, the outcomes, the context of the learners, so that he may be able to make sure that the topic will be understood by the students. Next, innovates the curriculum. We know very well that creativity and innovation are hallmarks of effective or excellent teacher. That is why dapat maging creative ang teacher kasi hindi pwedeng ang curriculum na binigay niya sa klase na to ay pareho lang, eksaktong-eksakto lang sa kung anong gagamitin niya sa klase na ito. Hindi pwedeng kung anong i-recommend doon sa taas, doon sa cities, ay yun eksakto ang i-implement niya doon sa barrios. So, the teacher has to be very creative, the teacher has to be very innovative, so that alam niya kung paano mag-fit yung curriculum na sa kind ng school meron siya at sa kind ng estudyanteng meron siya. The teacher innovates the curriculum. And the teacher implements the curriculum. The teacher really is one of the major factors of one of the major implementers of the curriculum. So, kung wala siya, paano magkakatotoo yung mga plinano niya? Kung wala siya, paano mabibigyan ng buhay ang lahat ng sinulat niya? So, the teacher gives life to the curriculum plan, the teacher gives life to the module presented or to the learning plans written, okay? So, the teacher really has to implement the curriculum. That's basically one of the teacher's most challenging jobs. And lastly, the teacher evaluates the curriculum. Hindi pwedeng implement ka lang ng implement. Paano mo malalaman kung may kailangan kang baguhin or kung may kailangang pagandahin or kung may mga pasay na sa lahat ng mga binibigay mo sa kanila? You have to implement if what you are doing ay relevant pa rin, ay connected pa rin sa kung anong pinagdadaanan ng mga estudyante mo. So, there is a need to evaluate the curriculum so that the teacher would really evaluate if he or she is doing the right thing or if the students are still learning the best way possible. So, since all these things, the teacher evaluates, the teacher implements, the teacher innovates, the teacher plans, the teacher writes the curriculum, and the teacher knows the curriculum, without a doubt, a teacher is also considered to be a curricularist. And that is your job later on when you become teachers. You would also be curricularists. Okay? You would also know exactly how to come up with a curriculum and how to implement a curriculum. And I hope when that time comes, you are all fully equipped with the necessities of a curricularist. Okay? So thank you. And another thing, if you have a question pala as regards the things presented, may hindi kayo naintindihan, you are free to write your questions or include your questions in the comment box, and I'll be responding to that, to each of the queries later on. Okay, see you next time. Goodbye.